A serene evening, yet something feels off. Even in the quiet hush of twilight, a sense of unease lingers in the air. Our story begins on this chilling note, setting the stage for a tale filled with intrigue and emotion. In the midst of it all stands our protagonist, a wife who, despite the calm exterior, is plagued by a gnawing suspicion. Her husband, once a beacon of warmth and affection, now seems distant, his eyes carrying a far-off look that she can't quite decipher. His laughter, once genuine and infectious, now sounds hollow. His affections, once abundant, now feel forced. His presence, once comforting, now feels like an absence. As the days turn into weeks, the wife's suspicion grows into a nagging fear that something is terribly amiss. It's as if a thick fog has descended upon her life, clouding her vision and filling her heart with dread. She tries to shake off the unsettling feelings, but they cling to her like shadows in the night. One day, as if guided by some unseen force, she stumbles upon pieces of a puzzle she never wanted to solve. A crumpled receipt, a stray earring, whispers of a perfume not her own. Each piece a damning evidence of her husband's infidelity. Each piece a knife, twisting in her heart. The world around her spins, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum. Betrayal, a bitter pill to swallow, leaves a sour taste in her mouth. The man she loved, the man she trusted, had shattered her world into a million pieces. She stands there, in the deafening silence of her once happy home, holding in her hands the fragments of her broken heart. The walls around her seem to close in, the air growing thin. The weight of her husband's betrayal bears down on her, threatening to crush her. And there it was, the bitter truth she had been avoiding. The unraveling of a mystery she wished had remained hidden, a cruel reality that left her reeling, questioning everything she once held dear. The beginning of an emotional journey she never asked for, but one she must undertake. Rewind to a time when love was simple and pure. Picture a love story that was once as vibrant and lively as a spring meadow. A story of two souls entwined, a tale of promises whispered under the moonlight, and trust as solid as a diamond. They were just two individuals, lost in the labyrinth of life, who found a companion in each other. Their love was the beacon that guided them, the lighthouse amidst the stormy sea of life. They danced to the rhythm of their hearts, laughed like children, and dreamt of a future filled with shared joy and togetherness. Words of love were exchanged, not just on Valentine's Day, but on ordinary Tuesdays and quiet Sundays too. Trust was their currency, the foundation of their bond. Their love story was a melody, a harmonious symphony, a testament to the power of love. But those were just memories now, echoes of a forgotten past. The world around her crumbled, her heart shattered. It was a moment of horrifying revelation, a moment where the fabric of her reality was torn to shreds. She stood there, staring at the man she once knew, a man now morphed into a stranger. Her husband, her partner, her confidant, stood as the architect of her pain. She mustered the courage, the strength, and the resolve to confront him about his infidelity. It was a conversation laced with a spectrum of emotions: rage, heartache, shock, and disbelief. The air around them crackled with tension, the words hung heavy like a storm waiting to unleash. "Is it true?" she asked, a tremor in her voice. His silence was deafening, it echoed the confirmation she dreaded. The room swirled around her as she grappled with the truth of his betrayal. The walls, once a symbol of their shared dreams, now seemed to close in on her. A heated argument followed. The exchange of words was fiery, fueled by the raw emotions that surged within her. Accusations flew, defenses were raised, but the glaring truth remained unchanged. He had broken their vows, shattered the trust that was the bedrock of their relationship. Her heart ached with a profound sadness, a sadness that was deeper than any she had ever known. It was a sadness that came from a place of deep betrayal, a betrayal that came from the one person she trusted the most. She felt lost, adrift in a sea of emotions, unsure of what to do next, where to go from here. But in that moment, amidst the anger, the pain, and the confusion, a realization dawned on her. She needed help. She needed to heal, to mend the broken pieces of her heart, to reclaim her sense of self. She needed to navigate this emotional upheaval, to find her way back to herself. In the midst of chaos, she knew she needed help. Enter the shepherd, the guide through her emotional storm. As the wife grappled with the reality of her husband's betrayal, she found herself seeking help from a professional, a hypnotherapist, who went by the name The Shepherd. The Shepherd, known for his compassionate approach and deep understanding of the human psyche, was her beacon of hope in a sea of despair. The Shepherd's therapy started with him painting a picture of a serene meadow under a clear sky. It was a safe space for her to explore her feelings, a place where she could let her guard down. He guided her to this tranquil setting in her mind, a place far removed from the harsh reality that was her life at the moment. As she delved into the depths of her subconscious under the shepherd's guidance, she was able to confront the fear, the anger, the pain that came with her husband's betrayal. She was no longer running from these emotions. Instead, she faced them head-on, understanding that they were a part of her healing journey. It was not easy. There were moments of intense despair, moments when she wanted to give up, but the shepherd's reassuring presence kept her going. In these therapy sessions, she began to understand the importance of forgiveness, not for her husband, but for herself. She learned that holding on to anger and resentment was like drinking poison and hoping the other person would die. She realized that to heal, she needed to let go. She needed to forgive herself for blaming herself for her husband's actions. The shepherd's therapy was not a quick fix. It was a journey that was challenging, that required her to delve into the darkest corners of her mind to confront the most painful emotions. But it was a journey that was crucial for her healing process. The therapy sessions were like a balm to her wounded soul. They provided her a safe space to express her feelings, to confront her pain, to begin the process of healing. With each session, she felt a weight lifting off her shoulders. The journey was far from over, but she was on the right path, the path to healing, to self-discovery, to a new beginning. It's not about forgetting, it's about accepting and moving on. The path to self-discovery is often filled with unexpected turns and hidden valleys. But as our heroine soon learns, it's in these valleys where the most profound growth occurs. Through the therapeutic lens of shepherd's therapy, she begins to see herself not as a victim but as a woman of worth. A woman who deserves respect, kindness, and most importantly, love. She starts to understand that her value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see her worth. As the therapy sessions progress, she grapples with the harsh reality of her situation. The man she had trusted, loved, and built a life with had betrayed her. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but swallow it she did, not with resignation, but with a newfound determination to rise above the pain. She learns to accept, not to condone her husband's actions, but to acknowledge their reality. Acceptance, she finds, is not about being passive. It's about understanding that she cannot change the past, but she can shape her future. And so she makes a choice to focus on her emotional growth, to cultivate her inner strength, and to reclaim her life. The journey to self-discovery also leads her to forgiveness. She learns to forgive not for her husband, but for herself. Forgiveness, she realizes, is not about absolving him of his actions. It's about freeing herself from the chains of resentment and anger that had been weighing her down. It's about choosing peace over turmoil, love over hate, and hope over despair. Through this journey, she discovers a strength she never knew she had, a resilience she never knew she possessed. She finds within herself a woman who is not just a wife, a woman who is not just a victim, but a woman who is strong, resilient, and deserving of love and respect. She was not defined by her husband's actions, but by her own strength and resilience. She was, and always will be, a woman of worth. The storm had passed, leaving a stronger woman in its wake. She had weathered the tempest of betrayal, faced her fears, and come out the other side not just intact, but fortified. The wife, once shattered by infidelity, now stood tall, resilient, and self-assured. Shepherd's therapy had not just helped her cope, but had unearthed a wellspring of self-love and strength within her. She had discovered a new version of herself, a version that valued her own happiness and well-being above everything else. Her decision to leave her husband was not an easy one, but it was the right one for her. She was no longer the woman bound by his deceit, but a woman unshackled, ready to start a new chapter of her life. Her journey of healing and self-discovery had led her to this moment. She walked away, not a victim of infidelity, but a survivor, ready to embrace her new journey.